ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Okie Podcast. Finally back after all the historical events happening the last couple of weeks with the ice and snow and all that. Today's show, I have a very special guest. He is an actor, model, bodybuilder, and a historian. And we're going to dive deeper into what else he does. So, hope y'all enjoy this little convo we have and give it a listen, and hope y'all enjoy it. Today it's Jake Tiger.
Well, thank you for having me on. I mean, that's a pretty good intro. It's like the jack of all trades. What is that? Dos Equis, most interesting man.
Oh, yeah.
Most interesting man in the world. But yeah. Thank you for having me on. This, I mean, I love podcasts. It's one of those things I love doing when I'm at work. I just turn on a podcast and just go to work. Yeah. So what do you want to talk about first? Want to talk about filmmaking, modeling, bodybuilding?
Well, for the listeners, just kind of, introduce yourself and
Okay.
where
For
you
sure.
came from or where you grew up and all that,
Yeah, for sure. So, where I come from, I'm from Seminole County here in Oklahoma. Been here all my 23 years, and I'll probably be there a lot longer. I belong to I'm enrolled in Seminole Nation. I'm also Ojibwe and Sac-and-Fox. And I know, as we mentioned, I do acting, modeling. I'm a historian, textile artist, bodybuilding. But yeah, I mean, I like to keep myself occupied. Let's just say that.
How'd you get into acting?
So how I got into acting,
Was it when you were younger? Or?
I think it might have been when I was younger because, most kids when they watch movies, they want to see like, superheroes. Me, I'm over here watching Goodfellas because it looks cool. I mean, Wes Anderson movies, all those classics. I think I had it old, so growing up, and I don't know. There's something about acting that kind of like it really got like I really got a firm grasp of it. But I think what really got me into it was my grandfather. He was a historian as well, but he liked to make his history very interactive. So he would put on historical plays on like the Trail of Tears and that kind of stuff. So that kind of got me into that. We didn't have any speaking roles, but we're just doing like body motions and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So that got me really interested. Reading, that really helped out a lot. In high school, reading different books. I think another influence was my English teacher in high school. I don't know. There's something about literature bringing that stuff to life, and that. And I always want to do it, and it wasn't until I was 19 where I was really like, you know what? Why don't I actually just do this? I don't want to live my life thinking what if. So I kind of dropped the status quo. I'm not going to tell everybody this is what you should do. I was in college, and it wasn't really for me, and it took me a while to figure that out. And I just kind of want to live life on my own terms. So I was like, like I said, like why not now? Like, this is the perfect time. I'm young. If I mess up, I can try something different tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I've always had that kind of mentality of just why not? Well, let's try something that keeps us out of our comfort zone. And honestly, I think that might have been the best decision I've ever made, was just following that gut feeling that I had. And the first, I made that decision when I was 19. I got to be an extra on a movie called The Bygone. That night, I had met my current agent there. She had approached me and asked me Do you have an agent? And I said, no. And she was like, here's my phone number. Give us a call. And I had called them like a week later, and I was signed on with my agency now. Um, been having a lot of good work until the pandemic happened. But things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And once this all clears up, I'm pretty sure we'll get traction. Going back on it. And but yeah, this. So I got started when I was 19 when I got onto my agency. I've been with them for 3.5 years now.
Damn.
Yeah, and then I got into modeling with another agency here in Oklahoma. Uh, I mean, I love both my agents. They're fantastic people. Uh, they really look out for us and make sure we get a lot of work. And it doesn't feel like work really when you have a passion for it and you just really just love what you do. When you leave a set or whatever, you got a smile on your face. That's how I know I'm doing the right thing. I'm not trying too hard or trying to prove anything. I'm just out here being myself. And so that that's whoever wants who's hearing this, that's how when you got that, like, you get that heartwarming feeling in you that just makes you want to do even more. And we had mentioned bodybuilding. I did that. I took a break because it's a lot of stress on your body.
Yeah.
going that hard. And I was see, the last show I did, I was 20 years old, and from 19 to 20 years old I had done 4 shows. And also too, I didn't mention this, so growing up from a small town, a lot of people, I'm not talking down on them, but the kind of mentality is to kind of just settle. Me, I want to make my mark.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, doing what I love and make myself happy, but also to inspire someone. I think that's one of the biggest honors you can have, is to inspire someone. Is to say, what you did inspired me to become what I am now. I had inspirations growing up. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Wes Studi. What's another one? There's so many. I can't even think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's that kind of, that person you kind of envision who you want to be, and just being versatile. And so like I said, so coming from a small town, that was kind of my mentality was, let's try something different. I don't want to just live the ordinary life after high school. Let's do something that's gonna, people they kind of like, like, what is this guy doing? Like,
Yeah.
he's being kind of extra. And so I did the bodybuilding, the modeling, acting. Once this pandemic is over, I'm working on it right now. Is working on a script, doing my own rom-com, and doing going to start taking filmmaking classes once it's safe to do so. But once I had gotten that idea, and I was like, you know what? Why not be on the other side of the camera of being the filmmaker? Because like I mentioned, one of my favorite filmmakers is Wes Studi, because his style is just so unique with the whip pans and zooms and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, so when you're an actor, you can only bring out the character. As a filmmaker, you can bring out the whole entire movie and figure this out and try to get the story across. And so that's kind of what made me want to do filmmaking and start writing scripts. As we had mentioned, I'm a historian. I work for the Seminole Nation and the historic and cultural preservation. that job is like a dream come true because, I mean, that's my culture.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't really even feel like a job most of the time. Like it's, I know I joke around. I say, so we just clock in and be natives. We get to, live like the traditional lifestyle, and what really got me interested in that, was growing up with that. Like I mentioned too, my grandfather was a historian. Um, he was on the council. He was a very prominent leader in the Seminole Nation. Um, I grew up with all the elders, so they all know me. That they're still around. They all know me, and that's a very it's very honorable to have that respect from elders. That's something I value the most.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, that, like I said, that job is fun. What I specialize the most in is textiles of the early 19th century of Seminole clothing. Going from hand sewing a Seminole coat to making leggings, beaded bandolier bags, moccasins, all that stuff. And one thing that I didn't really realize, starting out doing textiles, I grew up around it because, I went to historic sites and rendezvous with my grandpa. But I didn't realize how much research went into this, because this is stuff that is like 200 years old, and you got to figure this stuff out on your own. And I wish I would have asked him more questions when he was around. But now I know I still have people that are around that have the information, but most of the time I'm trying to just put the research together and to figure out, like, is this historically accurate? That's one, like, the biggest things being working with textiles is trying to make this. It is how would I put this is to tell the story properly, because a lot of times when people think of Native Americans, they don't think of being like a diverse image. They all think what Hollywood portrays, the war bonnets and teepees. If you see a Seminole Indian, it looks a lot different from like Sitting Bull. That contrast of looking like Osceola.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a lot of work, but it's also an honor and a privilege to know that stuff. And now I'm in the position where I can even promote this and teach others about it, because a lot of those elders are dying off that have that information, and the numbers getting smaller and smaller. And so now, me being young at only 23, being able to teach this, and like I had mentioned too, inspiration is trying to get the youth involved in this, because if we get through to them, then that will get traction, because they have the whole entire lives ahead of them, so they got all this time to do research and make the right piece. And it doesn't even have to be regalia. It can be from like bow making to making a canoe to building a shelter, all this stuff. A lot of those old teachings, that's really dying off. So I'm really trying to like firmly grasp that and learn from the elders.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like I said, like, when we go to work, it doesn't like feel like we're working. It just feels like, we get to be natives, and we're on the front lines trying to save the culture.
Yeah. Wow, man.
Yeah, it's really fun. Like right now, I'm working on some regalia right now. I've been working on this year, since it's so early in the year. I want to try to get 3 bandolier bags done. I took a break from that because I got kind of frustrated, so I started. That's one thing about being a craftsman, is I got like 6 unfinished projects sitting on in my sewing room right now. Like once I get frustrated one, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put this down and start another one. I get frustrated with that, and then I'll come full circle and finally finish all of it. Man, that's always a trip. And But yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot of fun, and it's a really good influence. Like I said, talking about inspiring the youth, I think a lot of problems that we have with the native communities is they don't know who they are. They've kind of lost their identity. Once they reconnect with that I would say get back their natural calling. That's going to shift their worldview and let them know that we live in two worlds. Like I had mentioned, uh, like me, like a prime example, being a filmmaker, or I mean, being an actor and model, and then on the other side, during the daytime, I'm working for historic culture preservation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing that, as natives, we live in two different worlds right now, and trying to live live through that duality. And that's it's very essential. It's very I wouldn't say exhausting, but it is a lot of work to keep up with both sides of your own story.
Yeah.
And that's something that's not talked about a lot. And also too, one of the things that got me interested in being an actor, one, I didn't really agree with just being casted on my skin color. That's
Mm-hmm.
always been a pet peeve of mine, like we mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Um, of course, we need to put natives telling native stories and playing native roles, but let's branch out and make, put us in roles that you're going to see in the mainstream.
Yeah.
You know, let's stop being the Dance with Wolves natives. Let's put us in the Mandalorian or in Marvel or whatever there is, because I think that's going to break a lot of stereotypes of just breaking out of the seeing us as the primitive 1800s Indian.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're very intellectual people, and I think we should be seen as such. I don't think we've been given that given that chance to be very versatile. I think like the one most recent was like Adam Beach in Suicide Squad. Like
Yeah.
he was like the first character that died in the movie. And I was so excited. I was like, no, they got Adam Beach in there. Like we made it. And then he died like the first guy. I'm like, come on, man.
I know.
And yeah, so that's one of the things that got me interested. Of course, we need natives to play natives in native roles. We can't have any like Burt Lancaster playing Jim Thorpe anymore.
Yeah.
We actually have natives that can act. But that's not the whole premise. Is just get casted on our skin color. I want to be seen as an actor who's like Daniel Day-Lewis or Christian Bale or Marlon Brando. Those key actors. When I think about those actors, I don't even think about their skin color. I think about how good of an actor they are because they're so versatile.
Yeah.
And that's a true craft right there. Is really working on that. And when I got into acting, I didn't really realize how much work it really is. I knew it was a lot of work. That's another pet peeve is people say, oh, all you gotta do is read from the script. No, it's a completely different story than that. You gotta do all these trainings. Like I mentioned before, when your first guest, Riker, I met him at an acting class in Norman 3 years ago. He's a great guy, and you know, going through all these trainings that I've gone through, audition training. I don't think I remember if I've done screenwriting. I've done voiceover training. I can't remember the class that Riker and I had did. It was so long ago. I feel like an old man now. and but yeah, there's a lot of protocols that go into that. just from the actor side. And, you and I had mentioned too, I'm talking about, being from Oklahoma, we're not really seen as serious actors. They kind of, put us in small roles. We're just going to be meat props as extras. And so, that's another thing too, is breaking this a stereotype within our state, is trying to prove ourselves that we're just as good as somebody from LA.
Yeah.
And our own situation isn't just predicated on where we live. It's how passionate and serious we are about something.
Mm-hmm.
That's that can be very influential. But yeah, that's one of the things I love, is just keeping myself busy, whether it has to be textiles, modeling, acting. A lot of that has been slowed down because of the pandemic, but it's also a time to work on it.
Yeah.
I've been reading through all kinds of books for filmmaking and acting, and even practicing my modeling. Actually, right now, one of the things when I'm kind of selecting these passions, I didn't call it careers, I just call it passions now,
Mm-hmm.
is trying to see how can they complement each other. Being a bodybuilder and an actor, boom, you got Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of vibe going on.
Yeah.
If you got textile or historian and acting, you got Last of the Mohicans or Gettysburg. If you get modeling and acting put together, you got who's a pretty boy, Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
It's kind of figuring out things that work for you and then also complement each other. So one thing I'm working on right now is my regalia, and getting a good photographer and trying to make this photo even good enough to get into another magazine. In 2019, I got on the cover of the Oklahoma magazine with just my textiles I made by myself. There was a lot of good people in that magazine as well. And I think that was a key moment in my life right there. Not only just for myself, but for just the Seminole Nation itself. Because I don't want to talk down on other tribes, but we always see the powwow people. We don't see southeastern Indians. So seeing a Seminole in full regalia on a magazine cover, I never seen that before, and I think it was very unique in a way, because that also broadens the worldview that all natives are not the same. We all have our own different things that make us unique.
Mm-hmm.
And so the regalia I'm working on now is going to try and get to another magazine on a much larger scale. Hopefully, National Geographic or Smithsonian or Muzzleloader, Cowboys and Indians. All, either one of those, even break out into the mainstream. The idea that I have was me standing in downtown Tulsa with all the big buildings behind me, but in full regalia, to kind of be like a statement that we're still here, and talking about that duality of being traditional but also living in the 21st century.
Mm-hmm.
So that's trying to just making a statement on that, to get that going. But yeah, like I said, I like to keep myself busy.
Yeah. It's always good.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
do keep yourself busy?
Yeah.
I didn't know I mean, I knew, some of that, but getting to hear all of it was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times I am hard on myself, because I'm like, I should be doing more. Then someone tells me like, oh yeah, I guess I am doing a lot.
He's a go-getter.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love, like I said, I love podcasts. I'm been trying to, like I had mentioned before, start my own soon, hopefully this summer. I got the idea of it. I had mentioned filmmakers and actors in Oklahoma that aren't seen as qualified, so I'm like, let's change that. Because I know when I get on the set or whatever in an audition room, one of my favorite things about filmmaking here in Oklahoma is the camaraderie of how friendly everybody is. Like I mentioned, Riker, he's one of my best friends in this industry. I have so many that we all come from different backgrounds, but the one thing the commonality we have is we love filmmaking.
Yeah.
And we're always looking out for each other, encouraging each other. That's one of my favorite things is it's a very beautiful setting, I would say. How everybody understands. Because some people work a 9 to 5, some people may work a construction job and come right to set. When I first started out, I was working. I did a little bit of construction, but I worked in fast food. So it was that kind of that hustle that everybody understands that if we want to make it, we got to go 110% on this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one thing I miss the most is just that camaraderie that everybody has in the film industry. But with the podcast I had talked about was kind of showcasing everybody's strengths and giving them free press of whoever whatever casting director or whoever can hear this person's story and kind of see, oh hey, this person is actually very intellectual. So we're kind of breaking cultural barriers at this, trying to make a positive impact for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's one of the things that I like is trying to help other people out.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's what kind of the idea of this is too.
Yeah, man.
A lot of the people that I'm asking to come on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I've met some of them and I haven't met them.
Mm-hmm.
But I always had the idea of doing like a podcast, like I've always been saying.
Yeah.
And then that's why I was adding people to like, hey, yo, would you come on? If not, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind. So it's just like reaching out,
Mm-hmm.
because it's really cool, because I never met Riker.
Yeah.
I saw what he was doing, and you too. Like, I see you guys like doing shit, and then it's like, just hit him up, Russell.
Mm-hmm.
Like, reach out.
Yeah.
Quit being like shy or whatever.
Yeah. Don't be the wallflower.
Yeah.
Just shoot your shot.
Yeah. But
slide in the DMs. Hey, you up?
Yeah. Let me slide up in there.
But yeah, like I said, the Riker one was pretty good. And I saw the one with Dennis. I don't know him, but I know him because of Mark's film.
This documentary.
Mark Williams. He's another guy that kind of got me interested in filmmaking. He works for the Simulation as well.
Oh, nice.
He's a pretty cool guy. I like him because he's pretty humble. He's still kind of he hasn't gone fully Hollywood yet, so he still hangs out with us. But yeah, he'd be a really good guest. He does a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Yeah, man. I'll send the address. I'll be like, yo, Mark, come down to Broken.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what town I'm in right now. I forgot.
Whoa.
Giving out the address on the air.
Everyone, come here.
Come here. But yeah, like I said, it's one of those things. Just looking out for other people. Help them get their word out. But yeah, I love what you're doing with this. This is it's a step in the right direction. It's and also too, it's just just building friendships. Like I said, we have never met each other until, and then we kind of just click. That's one of my favorite things is just meeting new people, and then just that click right there of this is a good person.
Yeah, feel comfortable and everything.
Yeah, man.
I know that's always like my biggest thing. It's like, God, I hope they feel comfortable. I don't want to like say anything to upset them or anything, so I just kind of ease my way.
Yeah,
I did those DMs, but Well, hell yeah, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
Dude,
appreciate it.
it's really cool, you know.
Let's see.
Need to be anywhere today?
No,
I know you're free.
no, I'm probably just gonna go. I forgot my skateboard. I was gonna go ride around Tulsa.
Oh.
I'm kind of scared because I fell off my board the other day. I kind of hurt myself. I don't know if I actually hurt myself or I'm just getting old. I woke up the next morning, I was all achy. I was like, oh
Oh
man.
my god.
I'm only 23, but I feel like I'm 84 right now.
You go skate at the don't they have a skate park at the Gathering place?
Yeah, but see, I ride a longboard, so you
Oh,
mostly
do you?
just coast, just pop my headphones and just chill.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to Blink 182 or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's this topic I did not discuss yet. Let's see, we had talked about modeling, um, textiles, filmmaking, bodybuilding. That's okay. Let's talk about bodybuilding for a little bit because
Did Schwarzenegger Pump and Iron get you into that?
oh dude that's a movie that's gonna be played at my funeral. Oh man, that movie. We had talked about inspiration, and just seeing Arnold, just being all just like shredded and humongous.
Mm-hmm.
That like caught my eye. I was like, yo, if he can do it, why can't I do it? And one of the reasons why he was one of my biggest inspirations is because he is one of those go getters. Let me try everything. Being a 7-time Mr. Olympia, to being one of the highest paid actors, and then end up being a governor. Now he's an environmentalist. Like that kind of stuff is very inspiring to me.
Mm-hmm.
I like that kind of mentality of, if it's out there, let's go try it.
Yeah.
Being very adventurous. The bodybuilding scene. So whoever's probably listening, they're probably thinking I'm wearing those like real tiny shorts, the banana hammock. No, we're not wearing those. So I compete in the classic physique because my body's not short and just like I don't look like a tree trunk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty tall, so I really focus on Arnold's physique.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought because I took a break for a little while and I really couldn't do anything last year with the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about it, and I've decided to actually get back on the bodybuilding stage later this year, in October. So I got plenty of time to get back in shape. But for this one, I'm not gonna chase a trophy. I'm gonna just do it because I love it.
Yeah.
And the way I take a bodybuilding approach is the artistic form. Of course, you want to, just unreal with your muscles, but you gotta I want to make it look beautiful. I don't want to look like a horse on growth hormones.
Yeah.
The Mr. Olympia that we have now. Not that kind of physique.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I'm not, gonna talk bad about them, but it's not for me. And so that's what got me interested in classic physique was watching those old videos, pumping iron, watching those guys do their routine. How they did posing was very artistic. Arnold even did a ballerina classes to work on his posing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's supposed to be just just clean, just eloquent movements of just it looks like ballet. So that's one of the things I really focused on when I was bodybuilding was making this into an artistic form, not just like some kind of freak show.
Mm-hmm.
And not giving out that wow factor, but looking like a moving like sculpture basically.
Yeah.
And so that's the approach I took. The first show I did, first two shows, my posing routine, I had worked on. I watched old videos of bodybuilders from the 60s and 70s and even 80s of their posing routines because in the 90s it kind of changed a little bit of them just just like, wow, look how big I am. Like their posing kind of got robotic in a way. So mine was it kind of looked just like choreographed, like a dance kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And so most of the guys that I competed with, their music that they pick, was just like Pantera or Metallica. I picked "Gimme Shelter" by the Rolling Stones, and not like the intro part where it kind of like builds up. I did that, and "Purple Rain" by Prince.
Nice.
Because those kind of songs, they can kind of like help you tell the story and kind of set the tone for what you're kind of going for. Kind of make it kind of like in a drama in a way. And I don't know if that's that's the actor in me is trying to make everything dramatic.
Yeah.
Being all about myself, but but yeah, that's one thing I love is try to take something and make it into its purest form. And like I said, I'd done bodybuilding for a little bit. I did the classic physique. I was doing pretty well, and it's a lot of stress on your body with all the dieting and training. Because most of the guys I competed against, they had their own coaches. They're all kind of like from the city area, so they're all kind of their own community. And me coming from a small town, I researched my own training and dieting and all that. And that's something that's overlooked is how much work goes into bodybuilding. Because people when they think of bodybuilding, of course steroids are involved, but without that, there's still a lot of work that still has to be done.
Yeah.
Somebody's working out and takes steroids, they're going to look good, but they're not going to look like a bodybuilder. They have to, work on their training in a certain way, eat a certain way and so many times a day. To even look like a bodybuilder, what I would do was to like pose after each set when I'm doing. So like if I'm doing like arms, if I'm doing like barbell curls, once I get done, one of the things I read in the book, a couple of books I read was to do your posing after your workout because it helps out your pump and helps out your growth. So it's a lot of like going through like in a scientific approach as well. So it's a lot of work that goes into bodybuilding. It's not for everyone. It's like I said, it's pretty vigorous. It's not for the New Year's resolution people.
Yeah.
It's more of a marathon than a 100-yard dash.
It takes a lot of
Absolutely.
time to achieve that physique.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just not going to happen like overnight.
Yeah, because and also too like even genetics even goes into that as well.
Oh yeah.
Like
Sure.
I can't do the bodybuilding because these guys are like 5'8", whatever. They can pull it off because they look shorter, so they look even more muscular. I'm 6'2", so I'm gonna look odd standing next to these guys. Like they look like what's that that donut that like a pine cone. That's what they look like. they're all oiled up and they're just like all bulgy. I'm over here looking like a long john sitting next to them. But yeah, that's that was another thing was researching that as well was the genetics of that. What fit my body the most. And I was so happy when I was in high school and they announced classic physique as a category. I was like, all right, showtime.
What was your diet like? Well, you said you've done 2 shows, bodybuilding shows.
4. So I did 4 shows actually.
You did 4 shows.
Yeah, I did 2 shows when I was 19 and 2 when I was 20. And hopefully another one at the end of this year. Everything goes well. Let's see. I'm saying we actually did it. So what my diet was like was half a pound of tilapia with broccoli. For breakfast, I would have somewhere between 6 to 8 egg whites for breakfast. And I'm trying to remember, oh man, my stomach's growling thing just even thinking about the food right now. Another meal was 8 ounces of chicken breast with a quarter cup of rice And then the last meal was, I think it was, might have been turkey with, might have been broccoli or cauliflower.
Mm-hmm.
And just eating clean like that for 16 weeks. I mean, that,
Jeez.
yeah.
That's a long time.
Oh, absolutely.
Holy crap.
And that's one thing I'm not looking forward to. Getting ready for the show is just 16 weeks of just looking at bland food.
Yeah. So that's every day? Is that
Oh
the
yeah,
same meal
yeah,
every day?
same meal every day. I would do a cheat meal. Depends on like how my body was looking. A cheat meal every 2 weeks or maybe once a month.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the cheat meals are very essential. So so when you do a cheat meal, that's another scientific approach that you have to go through is going in a caloric surplus. That actually shocks your metabolism and actually helps you lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
Doing a cheat meal if you do it right. I'm saying cheat meal. I'm not saying doing a cheat day. That might set you back. Even put on water weight.
Yeah.
But doing a cheat meal, that's going to actually help you out in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like I said, it's not a cheat. It's actually helping you out. If you get you a double cheeseburger from Brahms and some fries and a milkshake, that's actually going to help you lose weight when you're training.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's like I said, there's a lot of research that goes into a lot of these stuff, and that's one of my favorite things is just when I find something new to do is finding out like, yo, there's a lot of stuff that goes into this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mentioned with the textiles and being an actor and model and bodybuilding, like this is a lot of research. Like doing it on your own too, and there are some sources that I go to, but most of the time I'm just reading through books trying to figure out like what's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I think another topic I want to kind of touch back on is the history and cultural side, because I think that's that kind of makes who I am, talking about history and culture, bringing some of that stuff back, but also too inspiring. I had mentioned some of the problems that we do have is we've been disconnected. A lot of times it's not even our fault. It's been we've been the treatment we've been given throughout the years. But I think just having one or two people spreading and sharing the information, that's a very positive impact. Because if someone's going to gatekeep it, that information is going to die with that person, and it's never going to be retrieved after that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that I encourage other historians, cultural people, is get out there and teach other people other than just your family. Like, one of my mentors right now, one of my main ones is my grandfather's best friend. I grew up seeing him, all the time, going to council meetings or historical stuff, all that stuff. And I remember when my grandfather died, Rodney, he was he right now he's kind of like another grandfather figure to me, because we're not related, but if we kind of got that connection of he's teaching me all these things, and that's one of the things I could never repay him, because I'm just so grateful to have that. So that's something I want to do. That's kind of one thing that inspired me, is teaching someone else that I don't even know. One of the teachings that I go by is, if I teach you, you have to go teach someone else.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I hold dearest to my heart, is just sharing the information. But yeah, that's one of the things I like the most. And a lot of our I mentioned the youth, and getting when I was a kid, I was kind of scared to ask questions and all that. I would just listen. But you kind of just gonna go for that why not mentality, because you don't want to think your life, going through life, what if.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things I encourage the most for the youth is, you go visit your elders as much as you can and get all the information that you can as possible, because that's one of the most precious resources that we have is the elders. What they bring to the table is just unmatched.
Yeah, I wish I had known that when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now I'm trying to learn, well, when I moved away from Pawnee, I didn't know a lot about my history.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're a kid like that or you're young, you kind of just don't care.
Yeah.
Especially if you live in a small town like that where
Mm-hmm.
you're going to a public school and you're not actually learning about your history. You're
Mm-hmm.
learning about,
George Washington
and
yeah.
all that history that they want you to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I didn't really like history,
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't care about that.
Yeah.
And so, but we did have a little Pawnee language and history class, but I mean, in our it was in middle school. I think it was through high school, but I didn't take it in high school. But I did take it in middle school a few times, and they taught us basic language,
Mm-hmm.
count to 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Just little words here and there. And when I moved away from Pawnee, though, that's when, because I went to Institute of American Indian Arts,
Mm-hmm.
so it was just a bunch of natives there that actually know their language, and they know their history. And I was like, shit, I don't know anything.
Yeah, it gets kind of intimidating.
Yeah.
And...
So, there I started learning about, and people knew stuff about my tribe, Pawnee tribe. So, I was learning from them, and,
Mm-hmm.
I'd read books, and, I still want to learn our language. Some of my friends are, they went to OU, and they graduated from there, and they're trying to have these classes to where they teach the tribal members our language.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really cool. Still haven't made it there yet, but I want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish I would have known that. I would probably talk to my elders, or at least make an effort
Yeah.
to learn when I was younger. And I get what you're saying, to the youth, go ask them,
Mm-hmm.
ask your questions, because, yeah, once they're gone, man, they're, what they've been taught or what they could tell you is gone.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, yeah, I think that's a good message too, man.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned Pawnee. I got a really cool story about Pawnee.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
So I did a Smithsonian documentary there. It was an acting job,
Mm-hmm.
and it came on the Smithsonian Channel last year actually. And I think you can watch it on Hulu and CBS Access. And I'm on there, and we filmed at was it Pawnee Bill's Ranch or Buffalo,
Oh, yeah.
or where the place is?
Yeah, Pawnee Bill Ranch.
Yeah. So we filmed out there, and there's a Pawnee guy actually. I met him out there. He's in my agency now.
Elijah.
Yeah. He's a really cool guy.
Yeah.
And he was out there. Another guy, he's a Seminole, Kevin.
I met him too.
Kevin McGirt.
Yeah, he's fucking cool too.
Yeah, he did his own stunt on that one. That was hilarious. I don't know if he ever told you that story where he gets yanked on the rope, and because when he gets shot, he goes flying back. And he's a big dude, so I'm surprised they even yanked him back. He just got yeeted. And so we did the Smithsonian video out there. And so I knew it was the Battle of Little Bighorn, and it had to deal with the Sitting Bull getting shot. Well, they didn't tell us who was going to shoot Sitting Bull, so I remember it was me and it was Kevin and I, and we're dressed up in the blue wool police uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
And the director walks up to us. He goes, "All right, so which one of y'all is going to shoot Sitting Bull?" We both look at each other I ain't gonna do it. So we're he's like, you guys got to figure it out. And we're like, all right, we'll do rock paper scissors. 2 out of 3 got to shoot Sitting Bull. I was like, oh man, or loser has to shoot Sitting Bull, and I end up like pulling the short straw on that one. So, so like I'm always like proud. I'm like, yeah, I'm in the Smithsonian documentary. Like, oh yeah, what'd you do? Oh, I shot Sitting Bull. I'm like, dang, I had to like shoot my hero on TV. that was a fun job. That was I think we filmed that in like 2018, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, I was only 20 years old shooting Sitting Bull. Yeah, like I said, you can watch that on Hulu or CBS Access on the Smithsonian Channel.
Yeah, I remember. I got Kevin on Facebook, and he was posting a picture, his picture like where he's leaning back and he has that gun.
Yeah,
and I was like, "What's that from?" He goes, "Oh, it's that Smithsonian video or that movie." I was like, "Man, where can we watch it?" At that time, we couldn't watch it anywhere.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Well, I'll have to check it out." But if it's on Hulu, man, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, I think it's on the. I think it like get like the like TV subscription.
Oh, the Hulu Live.
Yeah, that or like I said on CBS Access, you can get on there and watch it. It's like $5 a month or something like that. Yeah, yeah, it's yeah, we're all out there. Like I said, when Kevin gets shot, he goes flying backwards. I was standing right there watching him because they want to make it look believable because he's getting shot point blank with like a double barrel shotgun, so they got to make it look believable. And it doesn't want to be like, I got shot. Like he's gonna go flying backwards. So they yanked him on a rope and goes flying backwards. And I had to giggle so bad because he had we kept doing these takes and he goes flying backwards and his adrenaline was going and they had a mat out front of us so he wouldn't get hurt. Well, he just like completely missed the mat, and after each take he got up each time. Well, he missed the mat and fell on his back. He was quiet. We're like, oh crap, he got knocked out. And I was laughing, but then like he wasn't moving. I was like, oh, he's out. And then he sits up. He has a big old smile on his face. He goes, all right, let's do that again. I was like, oh, thank God. Oh man, that was a funny job. That was actually he was like I met him on the first movie I did, The Bygone. That's on Netflix. You see me out there with the stripper, and I'm in the bar fight scene wearing a cowboy hat.
Damn.
Yeah,
The Bygone?
It's on Netflix. It's about it's a really good movie. It's about the kind of sheds light on the missing, murdered indigenous women.
Okay.
The whole human trafficking thing.
Yeah,
that's going on. What's his name? Graham Phillips. Him and his brother put that movie together.
Mm-hmm.
And I met T'Challa Black Elk. He's in like Wind River. I think Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee. He's a pretty cool guy. No, that was my first acting experience being on a big set like that, and I can still remember it just like it was yesterday. Yeah, I remember how cold it was because we're filming like the day before Thanksgiving. It was like 20 degrees, and like, we're doing some scenes outside, and I remember how long we filmed. I remember they actually emailed me to come back. And they didn't use this scene, but during the bar fight, I'm in it, and I get arrested. So like in the next scene, it would have been like seeing me in the cop car with one of my friends I met on set. We're in the cop car, and like I was so disappointed when they didn't put that in the movie. I was like, man, because I was telling everybody, I was like, I did a bar fight and I got arrested. And nobody got to see me get arrested. I was like, dang, man, that would have been. That would have been a good demo reel right there.
For real, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, that's right now. I'm going through memory lane, thinking about how excited I was when after I finished filming that.
Was that your first movie?
Yeah,
that was your first one.
First one at 19 years old. I was out there. It was we filmed for 12 hours from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. in the morning.
Damn.
Overnight. Man, it was... I had so much adrenaline. I don't even remember like going to sleep the next day. I was just like telling all my family about it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I was like, yeah, man, I had a stripper and they gave me a fake beer bottle. Oh man, yeah, that's all going through my mind right now. Just like the reliving that stuff.
Yeah. Fucking exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing that I like too about doing this, trying everything is being able to tell a story is that's one of the things I like too about meeting people is trying something new. That way I can relate to everyone. We can talk about history. You don't want to talk about cars or sports. If you want to talk about music, I could talk about Muddy Waters all day or Rolling Stones or
Mm-hmm.
you know that's one thing I love the most is meeting people and just like finding that commonality and kind of building that friendship. That's one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mine too.
yeah, it's fun, and after meet someone, then like one of my favorite things, like get the contact information. We'd be sending each other memes, stuff that we know.
Yeah.
Like one of the things Riker and I, we always send is like he likes Motley Crue, so we'll always talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I always tag him like filmmaking stuff, and we're pretty goofy sometimes. So we send like just like random memes, or me mostly. Oh man, but yeah, man, this is fun. I appreciate being on here.
Hell yeah. Yeah, dude. It's a good time, man.
Absolutely.
And it's crazy how time just flies.
It does actually.
When you're bodybuilding stuff, is that who you listen to? Rolling Stones?
I
Like, what gets you pumped in there?
Okay, so I was the one song that is the ultimate workout song has to be "One" by Metallica.
Oh, yeah.
I can do without the slow part,
Mm-hmm.
but it kind of helps out when like builds up to like that that part. I love that. That's because I mean that part like I start like I look like rabid dog like Cujo. I'll be like going at it when that song comes on. That I guess it depends on like what I'm training that day. Like last night I was working out to like Motley Crue and Pantera and um, I think Def Leppard.
Mm-hmm.
And then some nights I'll be listening to the Rolling Stones while I work out, or it'll be like Big Pun and Biggie Smalls, or this I guess it just depends on like what mood I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah. That always has a part to do with it.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll catch myself working out to jazz.
Oh, yeah?
I've gotten to that point where I'll be working out to like Hank Mobley and Miles Davis. I'm like, did I really just work out to that? Or like sometimes I'll put on like a podcast or NPR. I'll be working out to that. I'm like, am I getting old? I'm that old guy now.
What do you train at?
Taylor Gym in Seminole. It's a 24-hour gym.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I love going there. It's I like to go late at night when else is there. I just turn the music on and just go at it. And it's fairly new actually. Though I mean the new location.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. Have that 24-hour access and just when it's like that's one of my favorite things in the world is like Disneyland to me is an empty gym.
Yeah.
That's like I said, like I get to play whatever music I want. I get to train how I want. Like I get to be. Sometimes I am that dude that grunts in the gym, but like I don't feel like embarrassed when it's just me. I'm like the old gym I used to work out at. There was like a whole bunch of like old people. Like used to be, like go there, so like I feel like I was scaring them when I'm like grunting when I'm deadlifting. Like they're probably terrified of me.
Oh, there he is.
I was like, oh god, he's back.
Is that what's the one with the stupid lunk alarm?
Oh,
is that Planet Fitness?
Oh, Planet Fitness. Oh my lord.
I'll be watching videos on YouTube where dang, what's up? He's a strong man. I forgot his name. He's like 6'8". He's bald headed.
Mm-hmm.
Shaw, I think is his last name.
Oh, Brian Shaw.
Brian Shaw.
Yeah.
He went to all these Planet Fitnesses, and he was like, "Let's see if we can lift all the weight
Mm-hmm.
and see if we can put it down like lightly or get kicked out." Man, like it was him and these two other guys. This other guy was like normal size,
Mm-hmm.
but he's still big.
Yeah.
But they all went there, and one of them had a pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you get that pizza? He's like, "Oh, they're giving it away over there." But they went to all these gyms, and yeah, they got kicked out of some because I guess people were intimidated by them
Mm-hmm.
because they're freaking huge, man.
Yeah, he's like 6'8" or maybe even taller than that. But
Yeah.
yeah, he's a pretty big dude. One thing I didn't mention too was the bodybuilding side and trying to merge that with acting. One thing I have struggled with, I think that kind of sets me away from like getting lead roles.
Mm-hmm.
Is one is my height, because I think a lot of times they try to get their lead characters kind of be all the same height. That way they don't have to change camera angles to fit everybody in. So being me with 6'2" and just broad shoulders, I think that's one of the things that kind of keeps me away from getting lead roles is the body type. I was thinking about this the other day because I was thinking about the bodybuilding, and I was like, if you look at a picture of like Chris Hemsworth or like Hollywood's like muscle guys, if you see a picture of them just like walking through LA like on Instagram, whatever, they don't look that big. I think it's like that illusion of looking big that kind of sets the tone for them. Definitely not like Arnold and Commando. That worked out for him well. But I think now I think it really focuses on the illusion of looking big.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing I've taken into consideration. That's kind of like why I did classic physique, because if I needed to lose 30 pounds for a role, that would be doable instead of me doing men's open bodybuilding where I look like a I don't even know what, just like a Hulk, I guess.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of odd, but for classic physique, if you gotta drop 30 pounds of like a body mass, with muscle included, that's I think that would is very doable. So that's one of the things too I have to take in consideration is to not overdo it now that I have these other things going for me, is to kind of do bodybuilding in moderation in a sense. That's why now when I do bodybuilding, it's going to be because I just enjoy it. It's not because I'm going to go for a trophy anymore.
Yeah.
Bringing that wow factor, that's not very realistic. One of my I mentioned Arnold was one of my inspirations, but my inspiration for bodybuilding was like Steve Reeves and Frank Zane. Steve Reeves, he was actually like Mr. Universe, and he played I think he played the first Hercules actually.
Really?
Yeah, like he was he was pretty buff, but he wasn't like he still looked like he could be a leading man, because it was his like symmetry.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things I like about the bodybuilding side is the symmetrical point of that. I always say like the looking like a Dorito.
Yeah.
Broad shoulders and small waist.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things I always look for.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's so in bodybuilding, when they're judging you, and I was thinking about this the other day. One of those like shower thoughts is I was thinking about bodybuilding. I was like, man, I got up on a stage in front of like 100 people, and I got this panel of judges, and they're judging me, judging my body while I'm standing in like some like trunks.
Mm-hmm.
I know at the time I didn't think that was kind of odd, and I was kind of thinking, I was like, huh, that's kind of weird if you're trying to explain that to somebody.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'll let people judge my body in my underwear. That's one of the fun things about bodybuilding is just that just having fun with it.
Yeah.
I love meeting bodybuilders that are very talkative and friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because backstage, a lot of people, they're all just like serious. I'm putting my headphones in. I'm gonna like be locked in. Like it's like, dude, we're not gonna play in the final four. We're just gonna go out there and just flex our muscles. It's what we already have. It's not what we have to prove, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I guess to each his own. But that's what I love about that movie, Pumping Iron, was everybody was like best friends, that's one of the things I like was camaraderie. That's what I like about the filmmaking industry, was everybody's just cool with each other.
Yeah. Real cool and
Mm-hmm.
open arms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But I think with that, I think I'm out of topics or words. I think I met my what was it on Twitter, like 200 word capacity?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I met that already.
You play stickball?
I do not.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to. It's just one of those things I haven't really got into. I actually know how to make them. I just never played it.
Oh, you know how to make them?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I know how to make those, and I know how to make bows and all that stuff. Actually, I think maybe next week or 2 weeks from now, I got some river cane. I was gonna make some arrows,
Mm-hmm.
southeastern style, with some turkey feathers, and I might do some flint knapping on one of those. Yeah, that's one of the things I like is working with wood and making bows or making like a war club. That's one of my favorite things.
War club?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Yeah.
Oh, so for sticks, hickory wood works the best. If you do bows, the best ones I would recommend would be Bodark and Black Locust.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two. They're probably the best. They'll work out. I think red oak would be good for ball sticks, but I think hickory probably would work the best for repair ball sticks. Hickory wood looks pretty good too for making a bow.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other wood that would work pretty well.
That's what we used hickory. When we were in New Mexico, we had this guy. His name's Blue Tarpalici.
Mm-hmm.
He's really cool. He is Creek, and he introduced us to stickball.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what it was. Like, I thought it was that one game
Mm-hmm.
where they play in like New York or something. That
Yeah.
stickball game. That's why I was like, "What? You play that?" And then when he explained it to us, he's like, "Yeah, it's kind of like lacrosse and like football.
Mm-hmm.
It's real like it's real violent and get real violent." So
Yeah.
we were like, "Cool." We were fresh out of like high school. Just, never got to play football anywhere. So I guess we're all kind of dying to like just kind of beat the shit out of each other.
That's one thing that I liked in high school, because my school I went to was a very very small school. I went to school at Varnum. It's like north of Seminole. And it's like a Class B school, so that kind of gives you an idea how small the school was.
Yeah.
And I played basketball, and all my cousins, they all went all state. All three of them, they got all state in basketball. And me, I was more of like a defensive player, so I liked like getting down and dirty, like playing like Dennis Rodman, going after loose balls and going for charges. Yeah, that was one of my favorite things. Was every chance I got in basketball, I would be a dickhead. I would I would get in everybody's minds and want them to hurt me. Oh man, those are fun days.
Did you they have a football over there?
No, the only things we had were baseball and basketball. Basketball was the only one I took seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I played baseball for a little bit, just so I could hang out with my friends after school.
Yeah.
Because they were really into baseball, and I didn't get to see them during the springtime. So I was like, I guess I'll play, so I can hang out with them. They had track. I did track for a little bit too.
Yeah.
Track and field. Felt like Jim Thorpe for a little while. So I played baseball, but wasn't really into it.
Yeah.
And once you get kind of down to like that Ada area of like Asher, Roth, what's another school there? You get that kind of that general vicinity of those schools. Yeah, man, they take baseball seriously. I remember this one time. I think it was like in 11th grade. We were playing against this team. They did a three-peat actually.
Mm-hmm.
They they won the year before. They won baseball in the fall or state in baseball, then basketball in Class A, and in the springtime they won baseball again.
Damn.
And we played them. I think it was like our first game, and we went to their school and played them. And I was standing out there in left field. I remember just seeing, just just dingers just flying above my head and going across the over the fence. Just each time, I was standing. It was me and my best friend right there in outfield. We were just watching the balls fly over our head. Nothing we could do about it.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, they were just like it was like us playing like against Barry Bonds.
Had the All Stars on there.
Oh man, it was. But yeah, like I said, I took basketball seriously.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of fun. Actually, I have a scar on my forehead from playing rough
Ooh.
one time. Where did that come from? That was from like the Little River Conference tournament. I remember that. That was a like I said, I like to play it dirty, but that kind of got out of hand at that point.
Would you get elbowed?
No, I went after a loose ball. Me and this guy like we're going after a loose ball and we both like bumped heads.
Oh.
And he was fine.
Yeah.
And I thought I was fine until I was like we were both on the ground trying to scramble around. I remember like hitting my head real hard against him, and he was fine. And it was right here like above my eyebrow. And I thought it was sweat. And I did that. I looked at my hand, and like my hand on my forearm was just red. I was like, "The hell was this?" And then I just see like everybody like I looked into like at the bench and everybody was just like their jaw just dropped. And I'm like, "Is something wrong with me?" Like so I touched my head again, I was like, "Oh, that's blood." And there's just like I looked like Carrie and there's this blood coming down my face. And like I remember like my coach is all freaking out and I was like I didn't know what to do. There's like oh man, that was crazy. That was a crazy day.
Did you need stitches or no?
I think I did actually.
Did you?
Yeah. Oh man, it hurt too.
Damn.
Yeah. I think after that adrenaline rush when I got to the hospital, because they had to do like the numbing.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like right there, it was like real tender too, like on my face.
Yeah.
I felt like Anakin in Star Wars when he's getting rebuilt as Darth Vader.
Just going through that process.
Yeah.
What projects have you worked on? Like, I was trying to find you on IMDb, but I couldn't.
No, man, I wish I was on there. I've come so close to getting my SAG card, and then they go off a different direction.
Oh.
Most of the stuff I do is non-union.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had mentioned, Dinosaur World. That was actually my first speaking role. The same production studio I did. God, I'm having a brain fart right now. Oh, Jurassic Pet. I played like a henchman or security guard in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
We did that in the summer of 2018. And I remember it was so hot out there. I remember I had like the sickest like farmer's tan because they had me wearing like black jeans and black boots and like a fake bulletproof vest and a black t-shirt, and we're standing outside in the middle of like a field in Guthrie in the middle of August. So you know how like just picturing how hot it was out there, and there was no shade whatsoever. So we're just out in the sun all day, or like my skin started to look like my shirt. I'm like, man.
Oh man.
Well, I'm not, like the first 2 days, I looked like a lobster. I was all red. Yeah, so we did that movie. That's actually on video now. I think it might be on Amazon Prime. Last I checked.
Mm-hmm.
I did the Bygone. I think I'm getting to the point now where I can't remember the projects I worked on because there's so many. I'll be talking to some of my actor friends like, yeah, you remember working on that? I'm like, oh yeah, we did do that. I did some stuff for Life Church, for their I think it was Switch, I believe. We got the lead role for that. That was so much fun because like the first day we filmed in the studio. Second day we did like an outdoor scene at this like old kind of like Crystal Lake kind of camp in Guthrie.
Mm-hmm.
That was an old rundown camp. It was so cool out there, and we did like a kind of like a camp bonfire scene. We did this scene like we're like running through like the field, and some of us have like flags, and other of us have like flares, like smoke flares,
Mm-hmm.
and we're just running through there, and like it was a sick shot. And the three main ones we did like I remember we did some stills with the flares like around us, and like the smoke like in the background. We're all standing out there in the field, like looking different ways. I remember that was a cool shot. Uh, that was so much fun. And then 'cause it was a 3 day shoot. The next day we filmed like in a like downtown Oklahoma City, like in the tunnels,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to remember where else. Like I remember like out in the street, I think in a coffee shop too. Uh, but that was kind of like my first time doing kind of like a lead role. I didn't get any like speaking parts in it, but that was a lot of fun doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I did the Oklahoma Lottery commercial.
For real?
Yeah. The funny thing about that too, I got casted as a skateboarder.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I come out to the set and they forgot the skateboard. So I'm like, what do I do now? Then I'm like dressed like I just like walked in the Zoomies, and they're like sorry, but we forgot the skateboard. And I'm like, oh, so what do you want me to do? And they're like, do you mind just tossing this frisbee back and forth? I'm like, yeah, I can do that. So in the first shot, you just see me out there right behind like the main person. I'm just throwing a frisbee, and like they try to change like my image a little bit, and they put me like a little striped shirt. I looked like a blue zebra. Yeah, so in the beginning shot, you just see me just playing the little frisbee. I mean, I was so stoked too. Like, I want to show off my skating skills with the skateboard. Trying to remember what else I've worked on. I did the Life Church. I did Lottery, Smithsonian, the 2 dinosaur movies. Oh, I was an extra last year on the Super Bowl commercial. That was a lot of fun. Because working as an extra on that, I got to see like on a much larger scale, to see how that was done.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of my favorite things about that was they had like the football players running out of the stadium at Boone Pickens, and they had like this like really cool like golf cart that was rigged up that had the camera on it, so it was like running, it was like driving next to them.
Mm-hmm.
That was like one of my favorite things, seeing that. And on that one, because they had a lot of extras on there, so like that day I got to hang out with all my friends because they showed up as well, so that was a lot of fun being out there. I think the last film thing I did last year, right before the pandemic, I think it was like a week before we had got the first COVID case in Oklahoma. No, it was actually in Oklahoma, or it was actually when COVID actually was in Oklahoma. And we filmed it at the airport.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like when those people came back from like the cruise or whatever that had COVID.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was like when it was like brand new, and we're filming in the airport where these people just came through like the day before, and thinking back on that now, I'm not like none of us were wearing a mask or we're distant. We're all like packed in this little tiny like waiting room.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting there thinking, I was like, dang, we was wilding right there. We did like I think it was like a PSA, or I can't remember which one it was. But I remember like one of like the main guys. I was like one of like the paparazzi guys in the video, where the main guy comes walking out of the limo. We're like hyping him up, taking pictures and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually one of the last jobs. I think that was last March actually. Other than that, everything kind of just shut down. So I'm also just going to work, going to the gym, doing textiles.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Just waiting for it to end, huh?
Yeah, I'm just waiting. It feels like you ever seen that meme of Pablo Escobar from Narcos, where he's just like standing around? Like,
yeah, exactly.
That's how I feel most days. I'm just standing around, just waiting for something to happen.
What can I do?
Yeah, like I already done this. Like I've already watched all my. I've already watched Community like 3 times on Netflix already. So like, what else is there to do? I've already watched Seinfeld. And there's one show I've been watching. I love it. It's on Hulu. It's Rami.
Rami. Oh,
Yeah,
I've heard of that. I haven't got to
yeah.
watch it
Oh
yet.
man, it's such a good show. Yeah, that's one of the things I like about the pandemic because I played so much video games. I'm at the point actually I'm tired of playing video games now. I watch so much movies and uh, I remember like some days I'll go on like on a binge and watch like Wes Anderson films or watch Humphrey Bogart, like all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
That's one thing I'll do like about the pandemic is having all that free time.
Yeah. Marathons.
Oh yeah, one thing I need to do while I still can is rent out a movie theater and watch all the Star Wars.
Oh man.
Watch the good. I'm gonna watch the good ones though. I'm not gonna watch like the Last Jedi. We're gonna do like Revenge of the Sith and Empire. We're gonna go from episode 3 to 5 just like that.
Dang.
Maybe Rogue One. We're not gonna talk about Solo.
Have you watched dang it, The Mandalorian?
Oh man, I love that show. So one thing that I like um, being in film is I cannot watch anything without having to break it down. Like I like how John Favreau does his filmmaking because he uses miniatures. He likes to use a lot of practical effects. You know, very minimal CG. Uh, uh, so there's this one where they use like an LED monitor where like where Mando's on that speeder bike,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not a CG screen. It's actually like an LED monitor behind him,
Mm-hmm.
and it rotates with them, so it looks like the whole entire landscape. Um, yeah, that's one thing I cannot do is watch a movie without like, I wonder how they did that,
Mm-hmm.
because being coming from like the doing the behind the scenes stuff, seeing how the sausage is made. I'm like, I'll be sitting there, I'm like thinking, I wonder what camera they like, what lens they use, or I wonder what time of day they shot this, or uh, that kind of stuff that goes to my mind. Uh, there's some movies like I have to watch like 3 times to get it, to
Yeah.
firmly grasp it. Like, oh yeah, okay, now I get it. Like 1917 or Gettysburg or uh, I think Gettysburg is one I watched like 4 times because I had to like one check for historical accuracy, one for the storyline, um, seeing all this behind the scenes stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then two, and then the last time to actually enjoy it after I watched it. So that's one of the things now. I'm like watching a movie and like, wonder how they did this. I'll Google it or whatever, watch a YouTube video and see how they did it. I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty neat. And like everybody's like, why can't you just watch a movie normal anymore? I'm like, no, I was like, I don't need sleep. I need answers.
Yeah. I've changed.
Yeah. It's a curse that every actor and filmmaker has now. Oh man.
That's cool though. You're always wondering.
Yeah.
You're always keeping that.
Mm-hmm. That's like I said. That's the once you see how the sausage is made, you're you're always like thinking like, I wonder how they did this. That's one of my favorite things about this. I had mentioned historically accurate films. Being a historian and understanding appropriate costume design or
Mm-hmm.
wardrobe. I don't like saying costume. A wardrobe is I'm like sometimes I'll like pause the movie just to like look at one character or extras like outfit and make sure it's the right. Like the other day I was watching Last Mohicans,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of closely related to what I study in Seminole textiles. I mean, it's like 80 years, before, but I'm still like looking at it, make sure like this is the right stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not mixing up time periods. So that's one of the things I look at now is making sure the movie is historically accurate. I think the most historically accurate movie I've seen has to be either Waterloo or Gettysburg. I think Gettysburg probably the best one.
Really?
Yeah, like the cool thing too about Gettysburg, uh, how they saved so much money for production was all the extras weren't actors; they were reenactors that came like all across the country just to be in the movie, and they did it for free too.
Hmm.
So that kind of brought like a whole different level of authenticity to the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's a like so that I didn't know that until I finally like googled it up and like read all this stuff about like the behind the scenes stuff and how everything went down. But yeah, that's it's a it's a joyful curse, I guess.
Now, is that your favorite movie?
My favorites.
Gettysburg? Is that what you were just?
Yeah.
I need to watch that. I haven't watched
Oh,
it.
it's fantastic. I think my two favorite movies has to be Goodfellas and Silver Linings Playbook. Um,
Oh yeah, I've seen
I think
some.
Silver Linings probably is the movie that actually got me interested in being an actor
Yeah.
because I like how the story was told. I like the cast and just like the overall experience. I remember seeing that like I was in ninth grade, seeing that in the theaters, and I think that might be the movie that kind of that made me like want to like actually do this.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like it was one of those movies that kind of moved me, like made me feel something, I guess,
Yeah.
and that got me excited. And I was like I want to do what they did to me. So now here I am.
Yeah. Here you are,
Yeah.
actually doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hopefully you can get back into it.
Yeah.
Get over this.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, COVID-19. God.
I think I'm out of words entirely now. I just want to thank you for bringing me on. This is a pretty fun experience.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you came on, and
Yeah.
glad you wanted to. Took the time to drive here. And,
Yeah.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
We have to do it again. You're
Yeah,
welcome
absolutely.
anytime. Like I tell the other people,
Yeah. Well, so
anytime you want to
I'll
come on.
have to come on and bring Riker and we'll tell our stories.
I was thinking about that when you're talking about Riker. I was like, man, have Riker and Jake, and let's all sit here and chill and talk about whatever's going on.
We'll probably end up talking about Motley Crue.
Yeah, I'm down to do it.
Oh man.
But
yeah, this is a lot of fun. I like what you're doing with this.
thank you.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm able to do it again. Shit. But made some upgrades. I need to get 2 more of these.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jake, you want to let everyone know your social media?
Yeah, so I'm on Facebook. You just look up Jake Tiger. You'll see my profile picture is my magazine cover. And on Instagram, I almost forgot my Instagram just now. I think it's Tiger Muscle, if I remember correctly. It's kind of cheesy. Same thing, just the same profile pic of me on the magazine. Hopefully, I get to change it sometime this year with another magazine cover. Hopefully. But yeah, you can find my social on there.
Got any clips on YouTube or anything?
I need to make a demo reel and just upload it. That's one thing I need to work on. Is getting a demo reel put together. It's one of those things I keep procrastinating on.
Yeah.
I'm a king of procrastination sometimes.
Same here. Well, everyone, that was Jake Tiger. Like he said, follow him on Instagram or add him on Facebook. Really cool guy. If you haven't already, subscribe to Okie Podcast on pretty much everywhere. Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, YouTube. I'm going to take it off SoundCloud because they're trying to make me pay for more space. So
Oh, that's whack.
yeah, I know that is whack. So thanks, SoundCloud. You just lost some good content. But yeah, if you're not subscribed or following, make sure you follow Okie Podcast on that, and Instagram and Facebook page, and yeah. So until next time, everyone. Peace.